She never walked into the music industry with the confidence of a future star. In fact, she walked in quietly, almost unnoticed, like a girl who wasn't sure if she belonged anywhere at all. A girl who kept her eyes low, hid her hair under a hijab, and wondered why her voice never seemed to fit the world around her. But that same girl would one day dominate the global charts, redefine modern R&B, and become the soundtrack of an entire generation's heartbreak, insecurity, and healing. Her songs didn't just climb the Billboard charts. They became confessions whispered by millions. They turned vulnerability into power. They took the uncertainties she once hated and transformed them into something beautiful. So the question is, how did Solana Imani Rowe, Bullied, Lost, Anxious become SZA, one of the most influential and emotionally resonant voices of the 21st century? This is the journey of a woman who never planned to be famous, never believed she deserved the spotlight, and never thought her voice was enough, until the world told her otherwise. Solana Imani Rowe was born on November 8, 1989, in Maplewood, New Jersey, an upper-middle-class, disciplined, academically focused household. Her father worked as an executive producer at CNN. Her mother was an executive at AT&T. Expectations were high. Success was mandatory, but Solana didn't feel like she belonged in that world. Growing up Muslim, wearing a hijab, and being one of the few black girls in her school, she instantly became a target. She was bullied, relentlessly mocked for her appearance, her body, her religion, and even the way she spoke. She felt too weird, too emotional, too different. Her mother pushed her to be tough. Her father pushed her to be excellent. Yet Solana felt small, fragile, and invisible. After 9/11, the bullying intensified, pushing her deeper into isolation. She gravitated toward gymnastics, nature, and writing, anything that let her escape the noise of expectations and cruelty. Music wasn't a dream then. It was simply a refuge, a way to feel understood when nothing else made sense. Those early wounds, identity struggles, loneliness, rejection would one day become the emotional DNA of her music. But back then, Solana couldn't imagine that the very things she hated about herself would become the things that millions loved her for. After high school, Solana drifted, studying marine biology at one college, then switching, then dropping out altogether. She worked random jobs, lived on friends' couches, and tried to survive the feeling that she was failing everyone, including herself. Music was still just a hobby. She recorded songs in bathrooms, closets, and basements. Her earliest demos sounded raw, echoey, unfinished, but there was something unmistakable in her voice. Softness, vulnerability, a dreamlike haze that felt like a diary. Entry set to music. Everything changed because of an accident. In 2011, Solana accompanied her boyfriend to a Top Dog Entertainment event. Someone played her demo by mistake. TDE's president heard it and asked, "Who was that?" She didn't even see herself as a real artist, but TDE did. She released C.SZA. Run in 2012. Then the EPS, followed by Z. The sound was airy, ethereal, intimate, something the industry didn't know it needed yet. Then came the moment that changed everything. She co-wrote songs for Rihanna's Anti-End, collaborated with Kendrick Lamar. The world began asking the same question TDE had asked. Who is this girl with the voice that sounds like a fading dream? It was the beginning of a rise she never expected. In 2017, SZA released CTRL, an album that didn't just perform well. It became a cultural earthquake. CTRL was messy, emotional, insecure, honest, everything pop stars weren't supposed to be. And that was exactly why people loved it. Songs like Supermodel, The Weeknd, Drew Barrymore, and Broken Clocks hit listeners like a confession they had been too afraid to make. Shaw wasn't polished. She wasn't perfect. She was real. The album earned 5 Grammy nominations. Critics called it a blueprint for modern R&B. Fans treated it like scripture. Young women saw themselves in her imperfection. She became the voice of soft heartbreak and anxious self-reflection. Then came the global hits. All the Stars with Kendrick Lamar for Black Panther, What Lovers Do with Maroon 5. Kiss Me More with Doja Cat, earning her first Grammy win. Good Days, Shirt, and more. But none of this compared to what happened in December 2022. SZA released SOS. The album exploded, debuting at #1 and staying there for 10 consecutive weeks. Something no female R&B artist had done in decades. SOS combined heartbreak, rage, loneliness, and self-reflection into one glittering universe. SZA wasn't just a singer anymore. She was a phenomenon. An architect of modern R&B, a mirror for millions who felt too insecure, too emotional, too flawed. At her peak, she didn't shine like a typical pop star. She glowed like someone who finally understood her own worth, even if she still didn't fully believe it. But behind the success, there were storms. SZA single quotes S relationship with her label TDE became public drama. Albums were delayed. Fans blamed TDE blamed internal issues. SZA tweeted her frustrations, then deleted them, creating waves of controversy. Then came accusations about her body. Fans noticed changes in her appearance. Rumors spread. Articles speculated whether she had cosmetic surgery. Social media erupted with accusations that she was lying about her body, even though she had never denied struggling with body image. The pressure to be perfect, the same pressure that haunted her childhood, returned stronger than ever. SZA admitted to deep insecurities. She struggled with depression. She felt undeserving of fame. She even hinted that music often made her feel like she wasn't enough. Meanwhile, critics carved her apart. Journalists questioned her authenticity. Fans demanded new music relentlessly. Her perfectionism became a prison. Her anxiety became a shadow. Her success felt like a burden. At one point, she almost walked away from music entirely. And behind closed doors, she fought a silent war balancing fame, mental health, and the crushing weight of everyone's expectations. But the biggest twist was this: every scandal, every rumor, every emotional collapse only gave her more fuel for the art that would define her. SZA returned with a new sense of clarity, stronger, sharper, unapologetic. She openly spoke about her body changes, about insecurity, about the desire to feel beautiful. Instead of hiding, she transformed vulnerability into empowerment. And then came SOS, a reinvention not just musically, but personally. Her sound evolved, R&B blended with alternative rock. Pop merged with folk. Softness intertwined with rage. Her image shifted from sad girl uncertainty to unfiltered authenticity. SZA began controlling her narrative, reclaiming her identity and turning past wounds into creative fire. She wasn't trying to be perfect anymore. She was trying to be real. And that made her more powerful than ever. SZA didn't need a traditional path to stardom. She didn't need industry polish. She didn't need to pretend to be fearless. Her legacy is rooted in honesty, emotional rawness, so real it feels like a diary entry you weren't meant to read. She reshaped R&B into something fluid, genre-bending, deeply human. She opened doors for artists who felt too weird, too shy, too insecure to belong. And she proved that imperfections aren't weaknesses. They're the very things that make art unforgettable. SZA's journey is proof that even the quietest voices can echo the loudest across generations. If you enjoyed this story, remember to like the video, share it with someone who needs it, and subscribe for more powerful stories from stars and scandals.